My name is Louis, aka Louis the French Manette, and you're watching Schmoedown Night in Canada. All right, before we start, as per usual, I'm gonna be annoying with this, but this is our goal. We are aiming for 100. We're currently at 76. We have a little special prize for you if ever we do go, or when we do go, I should say, to 100. Wait till you see it. All right. That being said, we got a jam-packed, interesting conversation to be had with my two boys. How are you today?
We're his boys. We're his boys, Soda.
I'm 6 months younger than you. Don't call me boy.
Hey. Boys does not mean just sons. The movie Les Boys, they're not related.
I know.
Hey. All right. So
it's 7:20 in the morning where I am. I'm not quite awake yet.
Don't break the immersion, Soda. This is happening live as the people are seeing it.
Yes. Just inject yourself some coffee, so that you'll be good.
That's what my big mug's for.
All right. So how this is going to work today is pretty simple. We got to get Dave and Soda to cover the match. They're very interesting match. Love both competitors. I can't wait to see what you both think of them. Then afterwards, me and Mr. Soda, we're going to be talking about the upcoming matches. So that being said, I'm going to go to a logo. Up to you guys.
All right, Soda.
Yeah.
Big first IG play-in game. We talked about it a little bit last week, but how did you feel about the match?
It was a good match. It showed that, in my eyes, and I know Lou says otherwise, Goddard is the Rookie of the Year.
It's tough to dispute that after in a rookie season, getting a win in all three divisions is nothing to scoff at. And I think only been done by Rachel Cushing up until this point.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very rare feat.
Extremely rare feat. And I was impressed. What did you think of Goddard going into this match, though? I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but did you think he was going to perform as well as he did?
Oh yeah, I didn't have a shadow of a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
He performed right up to my expectations. Now, truthfully, it's gonna be next week that's the test. But no, today was this match was right where it was supposed to be.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I know last week I had predicted Vejvoda on the back of all his top bat MCU comic book movie wins and whatnot. But it shows that one of these people is studying and one of them is not. When you look at how round one went, there were some pretty easy misses by Vejvoda, and Goddard, I believe he only missed maybe my favorite Inner Geekdom question ever, which is the "Accomplished Wonder" tagline.
Mm-hmm, which I got wrong because I went with the obvious choice for myself, Wonder Woman.
I was watching the match and I said out loud, one or both of them is going to get it wrong because it's Man of Steel.
Yeah, because I didn't know that.
I could just hear Russell Crowe, or maybe it's Kevin Costner, in the trailer saying that whole, like, he'll accomplish wonders and one day they'll join you in the sun.
Russell Crowe.
That was Russell Crowe?
I remember it now that you said it was in the trailer. It was Russell Crowe.
So what were some highlights for you from this match?
Truthfully, wouldn't really say it was a highlight, but it was when Vejvoda missed the Sofia Boutella question. You could literally just see the gears start to come off the track. You know what I mean? Like that's the moment, and he even said as much in the post interview. That's the moment where he started beating himself up because he knew the answer. He interviewed Sofia Boutella for the movie. And so that's I think that's probably his biggest fault, is he got too much into his own head at that point, and then the match was gone. Although it was only a 1-point finish by the end of it.
It's true, a 1-point finish, but a TKO nonetheless. Now you're right, and I think the Sofia Boutella pull or lack of pull, I think, speaks to that studying that I was talking about, because I don't think Goddard obviously he didn't miss that, and also I think if he misses that, I don't know that he's as hard on himself as Vejvoda was.
Yeah, because there's that personal connection. And Vejvoda did say he did study for the match, but I don't think he studied the necessary amount for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now, going back to the beginning of the match, though, Roxy Stryer unable to attend, so Mark Andreyko as a manager. What do you think of Andreyko managing?
You know what? I didn't really see much of a sample size to go either way, because really I didn't hear. I know because of the cuts and stuff like that, we didn't really see him do any managing. So I don't know. I don't really have much to say on it.
Mark Andreyko, for me, has always been someone who I think would make a fantastic manager for a lot of the same reasons that Roxy Stryer is a good manager, where you see his where you see like his draw towards what's it called? His draw towards his players, and you see that in the post-game interview, how excited he was when it's like, oh, this was your first time not playing on a team? That's amazing.
Yeah, no, you're right. Andreyko would be a great manager. Just from listening to him talk, you can tell he's very honest, and he knows how to rally the people. Like, I follow him on Twitter, so I see that firsthand. So yeah, you're right. He would make a great manager. It's just unfortunately, with the way things were, I didn't see a great enough sample size outside of the post and pre-match interview. Like, I didn't see him manage.
Yeah, that's tough. I just think it's interesting to see who gets deputized, especially. Oh, for sure, because like, I based on recent events, I don't think Snyder would be managing an Inner Geekdom match.
No, 100%.
What do you? Now, as we move into round 2, something very strange has happened, but weirdly enough, which has happened already this season, double opponent's choice.
Yeah. Like, oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah, and interesting enough, the other time it's happened this season, Kate was also managing because it was Tom and Paul versus Deep 13.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna throw it out there. Is Kate Mulligan cursed?
I'd say no, considering they're currently number 2 in the standings.
That's fair. That's fair. Interesting choice, I think, to go with scores and soundtracks for Ben Goddard on opponent's choice, though.
Yeah, it was just because that and the Who Said It category are probably the 2 toughest categories. But yeah, Ben, he just showed that it didn't faze him. Like, even I knew some of those, and I love my scores. I'm just not big into who does what, right?
I think based on, you see his confidence kind of go down a little bit. I think when he's going through scores and soundtracks, it's clear he's very dialed in to like plot based stuff. But you see it in Lord of the Rings, in the Lord of the Rings exhibition match as well, where actors, actresses, that like main data point stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's his strong suit.
Okay, fair. To full disclosure, I actually haven't sat down and watched the Lord of the Rings match yet. But
match of the year.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. If I had time today, I definitely would watch it. But yeah, no, the scores and soundtracks things, that's definitely, it's almost something like just everybody doesn't really pay attention to unless you're into that, you know? So,
and
yeah,
I said, and I think it's interesting also that you see kind of the same usual suspects in the geek space.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a reason
for scores and soundtracks.
Oh yeah, like there's a reason for it, that they get it. Like I'm in the last year, I'd say I've started listening to more and more scores. And it's interesting to see just how, like, take example Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Like, he did the Batman trilogy. He did Man of Steel, and then you go and he's done the Lion King, and he's like all these guys are so diverse, but they seem to get the superhero genre.
Yeah, and I think that's why scores and soundtracks is an interesting one to get, because you kind of can work your way through it, as we saw him do. Now, we didn't see Jim Vejvoda work his way through Harry Potter as well, though.
No, but you know what? He was definitely on the right track, and that's one of those moments where if he'd have gone, it was a bad thing for him to get opponent's choice on the second spin. That's always the case, because then obviously the person is going to choose what you dismiss, and it's like, oh man, it was shitty for him. But you know what? He started off very, very smart, navigating his way with the multiple choice and whatever. With that, you could see just how much his game strategy has progressed. Because, like Carlos said, last time not last season, the season before that, he probably wouldn't have done that.
No, and I think he still has a little bit to work on in terms of the strategy. But you can see him progressing. And I think that's why he's going to be a very interesting character to watch in either when teams get working up again or a singles tournament, because he has such a wide breadth of knowledge. And you can tell even from his last match to this one how much he has grown as a game player.
He's the second coming of Bibbs, because we all saw
That's
Bibbs
bold.
right off the. Yeah, well, I mean, like, I don't mean in terms of like how great he'll become, but like if you remember, Bibbs, set a record his first match, and then people like me were touting like he's gonna be the next big thing, and then he went a season like losing and not doing well. I think David is gonna follow the same trajectory. That's what I mean by he's the second coming of Bibbs. I don't think he's gonna become like a legend like Bibbs is, but he's gonna follow the same career trajectory.
I can buy that. I like that analogy, actually. I was kind of thinking I want whatever Soda's taking right now, because like that's some high praise.
Coffee
but
and 2 sugars.
See, I'm an adult. I drink my coffee black.
I'm weaning myself off the cream. Anyways.
Okay. But anyway, round 3, not much to talk about here. TKO. I like seeing Indiana Jones questions get brought up though whenever they do.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100%. And that was an interesting 3-pointer, because I find that personally that was a little bit too easy, because that is like one of the main plot points. So if you've seen the movie once, that's something you're going to remember.
That's true.
Although I will say it just shows like how much further Vejvoda has to go to be a complete player, because he tried to invoke multiple choice in his first question.
That's true. Now I would say though, it's very interesting, and you can see. I think he needs to remember though. I think this is another part to use his repeats, because he on his 5-pointer just says peanut, which is a way Bullseye kills someone in that movie.
Yeah.
But it's not a way that he kills that specific person. So he was clearly thinking about the movie.
Yeah, for sure. I like what he said afterwards. It's like, if you've seen that movie enough times to know that, I feel sorry for you.
Oh,
and yeah. I'm one of the guys. I championed the director's cut of that movie. I think it's a way better film. But
so we could talk about that for hours. I love the director's cut.
Oh,
do you have any final thoughts about the match, man?
No, just other than Goddard performed exactly as I expected. And Vejvoda's got a little bit of ways to go, but I'm going to predict this now. It's Parker versus Goddard next, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be a contender for match of the year. I'm calling it.
I could very much see that. And if this is the kind of stuff that's happening in a play-in game, I am excited for the rest of the IG tournament.
Yeah, 100%. And Goddard said it 100% right. He's got nothing to lose, because if he wins, awesome. Nobody expected him to win. But if he loses, it's what everyone expects. So, I mean, that's what's going to make – he's going in with nothing to lose. And no chip on his shoulder. Like, that's for me is going to be the match of the year.
And speaking of the rest of the tournament coming up, Lou's going to hop back in here, and you and Soda are going to talk about the matches.
Right before, Soda, you buckled in?
Yeah.
All right. I starting to agree with you with Ben, Rookie of the Year.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Now that being said, the upcoming match, Parker versus Ben, that's what's going to determine Rookie of the Year.
No, you're 100% right on that. You're 100% right. I still think Ben's going to take it, but this is going to definitely, if he wins this match, is going to further the gap.
Because he barely missed anything, right? So the steal game of Parker is not as valuable. Now, bad luck can ensue if he gets That's the pivot point, right? And this is why I put the edge to Parker, because there's no really pivot point with Parker. It depends if the other person has a pivot point. So I'm still edging Parker, but it's not out of the realms of possibility right now.
No, for sure. See, that's how I feel the other way around, just because Goddard, his knowledge, not just how well he plays in the game, but his knowledge, it is showing that he can win in all 3 leagues, whereas Parker, we haven't seen that yet. So that's why, personally, I think that's where the advantage goes in.
I agree. All right, but yes, bracket. So, Dave, time for logo.
Goodbye.
All right, so next matches. All right, break this down. For me, this is confusing, right? We got total of how many matches? If we like take out like Patreons, no Patreons.
Let's see, 1. Shit. 1. Yeah, 5. Dave, thank you, Dave, because it's too early in the morning for me to count.
Yeah, and I just can't count.
It's Warfather and Barbarian are blending into me for me right now.
Yeah. All right. So first match, Warfather versus Alba.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Like I don't know Alba's strengths for inner geekdom.
Yeah, like Warfather's okay. He didn't impress me that much as last, but Alba is a hit and miss. If this is the equivalent of Aces fighting his family, his league with Star Wars, and now he's comfortable, it might be Alba's case, right? Maybe we just haven't seen him in the appropriate league.
Yeah, maybe because this is his first IG match, is it not?
I think so. If not, I'm sure Dave's going to correct this. Okay, so it is. Yay, we're not that bad. But yeah, if I would have to choose, gun pointed to my head, Alba.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Warfather just because I've seen him in Inner Geekdom.
Okay.
So just because that's just I'm just gonna say that's usually my default if I don't know one of the players in the league. I'm usually gonna go with the one I've seen.
Here's my logic. Yes, I've seen him, but he wasn't impressive when I see him. So I'm expecting a meh, and Alba has his fire, So you never know.
Fair enough.
Now that being said, next one, Barbarian versus Havlak.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Barbarian on this, and I'm gonna go further. I think Barbarian's the dark horse. Everyone's sleeping on him because the talk is Goddard or Parker. Barbarian is the dark horse to win. So I'm gonna go with him.
Barbarian TKO.
Yeah. Then nothing against Hell Havoc. He's a good player. He's been around a long time. It's just something about the Barbarian. He's Ivan Drago pre-Rocky Balboa fight.
Yeah.
Steroids.
I personally, for Havlak, let's say next season, don't draft him. Or if you have to draft those kind of people, maybe that's a new thing. But I would put him as an assistant to the coach. Someone, if you're very heavy on inner geekdom, or you got like an inner geekdom player that you want to, as a rookie rookie defense, learning from the defense coach, right? Learning new tricks. So I would see him as an assistant, but I think his time is done if he loses this.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm with you on there. And then the next new match is Scrimshaw versus Dimolanta in the Star Wars tournament.
Woo!
And this is the first of a double header, just so everyone knows, just because they didn't have a match this past week.
Yeah, and Scrimshaw for me, honestly, he's in my poll, so that helps. But as well, there's something, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Scrimshaw also, just because he's the constant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless this is the breakout moment for Dimolanta, but I don't know. Maybe also an A situation that one time you just spark up, but we had chances to see him, and he did good stats, but always failed with people who did good stats. Scrimshaw is a good stat guy, so will his keel, like, does he really need a sucky player to win? Because he just can't edge out a couple of questions more. So I say Scrimshaw.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, Scrimshaw as well.
All right. Easy one for me. Molly versus Wit.
Yeah, ditto. I'm with you there.
Oh, Dave says
really?
Wit. Okay.
The Upset. Okay.
All right. Well,
I wish you could hop on screen to explain.
Oh, please. The wish will be my command. Come on up here.
Yeah, I want to hear. I want to hear why you think Witt's gonna beat Damon.
Just 3 weeks ago,
okay.
I find that this whole show has a very short-term memory. Because 3 weeks ago,
head injury
first of all,
did that to you.
Lou was like, you know what? I'm so excited to see Hlavik in a faction.
I know.
I'm really excited for him. And now he's like, don't even draft him. What's going on? Did he kill your cat or something over the last week?
It's called reflection and weed. More I thought about it, more I'm like, okay, if he loses, I want him to win in a certain part because he's a cool guy. He's been there since the original. But the more I'm thinking about it, yo, this is a whole nother level. You got Ben Goddard, you got Parker, you got potentially Barbarian. Havlak, as much as I like him, if you can't teach, right? And I think it's that moment, like that coach that is, I don't know, at that moment of realization, I have to get out,
But to the wit of it all. Also, a couple weeks ago, me and Soda did a breakdown of the Star Wars tournament, and I had a whole thing about how I was saying I think Molly Damon has a lot of knowledge. And I think she will be a fantastic player. I expect a lot of points out of her. But she doesn't, based on the videos I've watched from Star Wars Explained, I don't know that she has the immediate recall that you need for something like this. I think there'll be a lot of Sophia Boutella moments with Jim Vejvoda in this last match where it's on the tip of her tongue, but she just can't get there. I think round 2 will be very good for her. Because she has that ability to check to multiple choice. But round 3, I think when the pressure's on like that, I don't know if she's going to be able to deliver. And we've seen Witt deliver. Now, he hasn't won, but I don't care what people say, he outperformed Sean Sullivan in that match. He just didn't know the game well enough. And I think we're now in a position where he can do some good.
Now, I agree for your videotapes of the past, but I think the difference between then and now is she was not Damon's protege. She was doing for fun. I have a feeling now Damon takes it seriously and they might study together. She might become a protege. And whatever Damon does is working for him, right? It's not just knowledge. There is ways he's studying for this. So apply that with Molly, and she had a pretty good basis. I think she has a shot.
Well, and that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about her the one time she's played already. I'm saying I watch their YouTube channel, and every week they do like Q&As. And recently they've been doing live streams where they answer questions and build Legos and stuff, which is really fun. Small plug for them. I think that's a great show. Great channel, Star Wars Explained. And I think on that show, there's a lot more like, what's that guy's name again? And she just doesn't have that immediate recall. It's clearly all in there, but she just doesn't have that, like you got 15 seconds to figure it out. Right, so that's where I think we're gonna have the issues.
Well,
this could be upset the upset of the tournament.
I don't think they'll be like. I'm not expecting her to get blown out of the water. I think she'll do very well, and if she beats Witt, I won't be surprised. But right now, those are just my concerns.
Okay, fair enough. Those are valid concerns.
They're valid concerns, but I find it's different because in an interview, not really like prepping for specific forces and. It's different because in a competition, you're more focused in, you've trained right before, you have an estimate of, what could be on there or not, what's the person's weakness. So you put strategy into that. If she's we don't know, maybe she's a good strategist. Now she understands the game more. It could make a difference.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And she has had a year to work on her game.
Yep.
That's true. All right, you guys finish it out. I'm leaving. Bye.
All right. So that being said, that was a good conversation. Thank you, Dave. Barbarian versus.
That's just that's for public, so we've already covered that. The next new one is Brandon Hanna versus Saul, the grudge match of the century. Because Kate traded Hanna so Saul could play in the tournament pretty much.
I'm torn because I don't like Hanna, but I have him in my fantasy league, and as well he has potential. But something about Saul, it's rare that I actually am excited when there's promos. Even the Ken one was fun, but it didn't get me excited.
Oh, really?
Not that much. Saul, on the other hand, something about his demeanor. If he can play the way he acts.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Jay Wade, he's become friendly with Saul, and he's told me that he's very locked in and determined and hungry and wants to win. So that's why I'm saying this is a grudge. One of the reasons this is a grudge match of the century, because you have that essentially from both players. Because Hanna also has something to prove and wants to win, to prove that show that Kate gave up on him.
Now, also the thing is with Hanna, he could get into the trap as well of playing the heel, and we've seen in the past. There's a storyline, there's a character thing to do. But if you don't concentrate as much on the game itself, if you don't balance it out, it might be a problem.
Yeah, it could. But I don't know. I got a good feeling about Hanna with this turn of character. I think it's going to work out well for him.
Okay, I was going to say, if you wanted to say something.
that happened with Kalinowski. Kalinowski was a good player, but it wasn't until he became the heel that we know him as now, where his game ascended. So I'm saying Hanna has the potential to do that. I think he might have finally found his groove.
Okay, that's interesting. But it is true when it clicks with a personality, sometimes it clicks with the game. We've seen it with Bibiani. He was trying to be that I'm evil, and then just became more of a middle ground. He's not a baby face, but a middle ground.
He's a tweener, yeah.
Yeah. So and then being a tweener, dead on, then found the kid, dead on. So it might do with Hanna, but at the same time, he's shaky. It's something shaky about him. I think he is a lot of bark and not a lot of action. Even though he has good stats, he's not a closer. Again, yes, it's with Chandru, but still, after a while, that shows me the flip of the coin. If you play against the same player and still haven't learned the lessons and progressed, for me, that shows weakness.
You're right, but again, I'm going to compare him to Kalinowski, because remember, Kalinowski couldn't close, and he kept losing to the same people. Brianne Chandler comes to mind. So it's this. I got a good feeling about this.
Yeah, well, look, these are very interesting matches. Last question for you, Soda. If I put back on the screen, or Dave, could you put? Yeah, thank you. All matches. Which one are you the most excited for?
Honestly, I'm most excited for the Hanna and Saul match, just for the reasons we said, because there's a lot of hype going into this.
I am 100% on board. I want to see, and it sucks. It's the last one. They saved the best for last.
The main event, baby.
Yeah. All right. So that I cannot wait. That being said, before we close up, if you haven't watched yesterday's episode, we have an amazing interview with Winston. Full disclosure, this was before all the events, so if you're looking for the controversy, it won't be found there. But what you will find is an awesome conversation with an awesome, swaggerlicious person.
Yeah, I'm still pretty pissed that I couldn't make it for that one, but oh well.
You missed out on all the good ones, man. No. But no, not true. You aren't on spectacular ones. But, without me. Love you too. All right. So that being said, again, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Don't miss out. That being said, Soda, where can we find you?
You can find me on my personal stuff at soda_the_saxman on both Instagram and Twitter. You can find me running the Media Sweaties Network Twitter feed there. You can find me obviously here on the Schmoedown Night in Canada YouTube channel and also the Facebook group.
And I summon you, Dave.
Dave, can be summoned and found at Baby James Lees on Instagram, at Lees Me Alone on Twitter, and at Schmoes of the North on Facebook. Join, be a fellow Canadian or not Canadian. Just be good to each other.
And you were lying.
One more thing. I do want to say one more thing. I'm making my debut in the fan leagues. I got a match coming up on the Jack of All Trades, Jack of All Trivia network. So that's being recorded soon. So look out for that.
Are you jogging in place while reading the instruction manuals? No.
I'm just doing what I always do: watch movies and go on IMDb like I do. That's how I gain my knowledge.
All right, Ed. You know what, Dave? Predictions. What's going to be the score?
Soda is going to win 19-17.
19. Who's your opponent, Soda?
Yeah. You know what? I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
So that being said, it's going to be 17. The other guy, Soda 16, says he can't remember his name.
His name is Scott. His name is Scott.
Okay. Any weakness? Any forces?
Going up against Scott Harvey.
Any weaknesses? Any strengths? Any weaknesses? Any strengths from the guy? Or are you going blind?
I don't know. I haven't done any. I'm going blind.
All right. But now that being said, good luck to you, Soda. I hope you win the match. I know you'll win the match. I was joking before. And till next time.
Goodbye.